It's the National Football League on EA Sports, as we see the two teams who fought back in Super Bowl 18. Who knows what we're in store for here? Coming up next.
Just a little ways east from the nation's political arena, we're in a much different type of arena here. Northwest Stadium in Landover, Maryland. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scott, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard. And we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football. Not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as a default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
Matt Gay now ready to get this one started. And we're off and running from Landover. Here's a return from the 7. He's got a lane up past the 30. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. So out head the Raiders for their first possession. They're led out by someone amidst their second act as an NFL QB. He was a second-rounder back in 2013, Geno Smith.
When Geno Smith won Comeback Player of the Year, it was really hard to find another comp. You know, the NFL, we love to always compare and contrast guys from different eras or project them moving forward. But there just were not many stories like Geno Smith, who just waited and persevered a decade in the NFL before he flourished. But what came to life finally was just the arm strength, the accuracy, the playmaking ability that was there at West Virginia, and it just took some time and maybe a little love from Pete Carroll at that time to really elevate his confidence and elevate his game.
Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. 5 yards on that play and enough for a new set of downs.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a third down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next third down coming.
Caught. Trey Tucker makes the play. And he gets him around 6 there. It was Mike Sanders still on that stop. The rookie from Michigan there that time.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. It was Mike Sanders still on that stop. Only a yard on the pickup, so that's going to bring them to 3rd down and 3.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. Give him 13 on that play. And that's good for a Raiders first.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
They just keep working it forward early. We've got 1st and 10 now from the 35. Shotgun snap to Smith. That's taken in nicely by Brock Bowers. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And that's a Vegas first down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
On first down, they'll run. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Second down now, 7 to go. Now movement as somebody goes early, and for the first time today, we're going to hear from our officials. So tough to stay set when you've got defenders doing everything they can to make you jump, and, well, they got one of them to move that time. Back to the line they go. It's second down. They go play action. Here's Smith. Cut near the goal line. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with first and goal.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
This drive has been excellent. A few shots now. It's starting with 6 as they come up on it. First and goal. They'll try and punch it in. Is in. Touchdown, Las Vegas. The Raiders finish up an excellent opening series. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start to a game than that. The offense taking it all the way down the field and finishing with 6.
These opening drives, Kate, are such tone setters. It is why every offense loves to script their first 15 plays, right? Everybody knows what's coming. Allows you during the practice week to get into rhythm, but even better when you're that sharp, that crisp, and you finish off and get the early lead.
Daniel Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Raiders will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Kickoff taken at the 3. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. So the Commanders' offense headed out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by an elite runner, one of the game's top dual-threat young quarterbacks. He was taken second in 2024, Jayden Daniels.
Jaden's the closest thing we've seen to Lamar Jackson. And while there's only one Lamar Jackson, the 2-time MVP, Jaden's going to push him a little bit in this league. He is a tremendous athlete. Over 1,000 yards rushing down the SEC, and he's just got the instincts, the feel to know when to run it. And, man, he can also sling it. A quick, compact, accurate release. I can't wait to watch this guy's skill set unfold in the NFL.
And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
Ball at the 33 for first down. Option play. Here's a give to Eckler. And he has him a small chunk of yards up to the 42. Just a little short, but still a 9-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
An option give to Robinson. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
Hey, Kate, you want to see a picture in the football dictionary of staying on schedule? That was it.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Staying with Robinson. Down the sideline to the 45. And he gets this down to the 38. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And that'll be good for a Washington first.
You know, Kate, if you notice those guys that love to feed themselves on the field, right? They love to just get more and more. They're hungry for even more. I'll tell you what, that tackle, it prevented something that's going to be a lot bigger, but that back remains hungry.
Daniels on first down. And he's not quite that fast. Let him just a bit too much. That's incomplete. Well, no look on his first look of the game, and that'll bring up second down.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you got to count on those being efficient and effective.
Making defenders pay for trying to tackle him. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. They get 13 on the pickup. And the Commanders will have a first.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Shotgun snap to Daniels. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
They're now set for 1st and 10. Into the hands of Samuel, complete. And he's in for the Washington touchdown. The Commanders finish off their opening drive. Deebo Samuel, the touchdown. He finds one of his great receivers, Brock, and they are off to a great start to begin this ball game.
Yeah, it's such a positive offensively when you could go find not just a field goal, but a touchdown on that opening drive. And defensively, this starts to shake the foundation of your preparation and makes you wonder what's in store.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Commanders respond with 7 of their own to tie it here early. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. He'll take this at the 10. His return gets him to the 32-yard line before he's taken down. Now for the second time this game, we get a look at the Raiders' offense. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3-and-out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
Here's a give up the middle. And his charge towards the line, that's right around 3 yards.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Second down now, 7 to go. From the 36. complete. It's Myers. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. That's the end of one. Both teams with a little luck finding the end zone early. Hopefully no shortage of excitement coming up in the second. We're back to Northwest Stadium right after this. Time now for the second quarter. Raiders in possession. They're looking at first down here. They send a tight end in motion. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Play made by Deron Payne. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Out of the gun, here's Smith. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Here's Smith. That's caught for the first. And he goes out a little short of the 40. They'll say he got 5 there, but Brock, all they care about is the first down that comes with it.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Smith on first down. Throwing deep for the end zone. And this will be a Las Vegas touchdown. The Raiders take a second quarter lead. Well, they definitely wanted to get that one out quick, Brock. They did just that, and it ends in 6.
We hear it all the time, but it is so true, Kate. This is a game about matchups. And when you see a throw that quick, it really was determined pre-snap. It was great design and tremendous execution.
Carlson to tack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Raiders break that tie and now lead by 7. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Starting at the 10. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. The Commanders are ready to go on offense, and we'll get a look at Deebo Samuel. It's a touchdown ball game right now, Brock. 14-7 as they start this possession. First and 10 now from the 30. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Elandon Roberts coming over for the hit. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15+ at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
He'll get this to Samuel. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. He manages a gain of 8 there. And that'll be good for a Washington first.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Daniels back to throw. Short pass brought in. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. Now Daniels off the play action. Makes the grab in bounds, left side. And he's taken down at the 30. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a first down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
First and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun snap, a give to Robinson. And he pushed deep in enemy territory with that, down inside the 25. It's a solid 70-yard pickup on first down. Now they're going to have second and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
From the gun, it's Daniels. And he will score. It's a Washington touchdown. The Commanders can tie it up in the second after cutting into the lead. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
Gay to add the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Commanders tie things up at 14. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Tyreek McAllister now to return. Finds some space, he's past the 30. And a good return here as he gets it out past the 35. The Raiders back on offense, led out by Geno Smith. And with each team coming off a touchdown and scoring well early on, we've got the makings of a barn burner here, Brock, if they can keep this up.
Yeah, and as a quarterback, as an offense, it doesn't mean you over-try, but you just know, hey, man, our defense having a hard time slowing them down, and we've got to step on that accelerator.
First and 10 now. Here's Smith. This is brought in along the sideline. High degree of difficulty for a short gain.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
Second down now, 7 to go. Putting a receiver in motion. A play fake, now Smith to throw. He puts some air under this one, deep right. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. From the gun, Smith. Complete out to the right side. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. Give him 13 on that play. And that's good for a Raiders first.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. Man in motion, out of the slot. First down, Smith to throw. And a man is there to knock that away.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, well, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Give now to the running back. And he's able to get this down to the 36. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that third down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
First down, ball at the 36. Smith in the pistol. Got a man, Bowers has it. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Brought down by the future Hall of Famer, Bobby Wagner.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 32. He's on the move. He's going to pull this one down and run with it. And he slides down with enough to pick up that first. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
All right, set now, 1st and 10. Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And he's got a nice gain down inside the 10-yard line. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
We've hit the 2-minute warning now from the nation's capital. It's the Raiders, who have 2nd and 4. Pressure comes, Smith. And that's caught. Touchdown, Las Vegas. The Raiders get some late points and the lead. Brock Bowers, the touchdown. Well, we all know that he's somebody they like to have working down near the end zone, Brock, and there is so many ways they know how to use him down there.
Yeah, things are constantly different down there when you're trying to defend him, which is what makes defending him so tough, borderline impossible at times. He can make the smallest little tweaks to his route just like a receiver would, and it's a totally different animal, a nightmare for these defenses.
Carlson now to add one more. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Raiders break that tie and now lead by 7. Carlson, all set now for the kickoff. He fields it from the 8. His return makes it up to the 25. The Commanders and Brian Robinson Jr. running back on now. And we've seen some matching touchdowns as of late, so the scoring coming at a good clip, Brock. Let's see if they can keep this up.
You know what's fun, Kate? After all of these years, I have friends that are offensive guys, friends that are defensive guys. And my friends watching this one offensively love it. The defensive guys, they're climbing up their walls.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Daniels. That's taken in by Samuel. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. but that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Able to find Ertz. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Throwing the out route complete. And he's out of bounds after reaching the 40. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. First and 10 now. Here's Daniels. Rolling out to his left. He's keeping it. The Commanders take a timeout. They're first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Second down now, 7 to go. To throw, Daniels. That's complete. Here's Austin Eckler. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss. Timeout taken by the offense, their second. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. The Raiders bringing out a couple extra defensive backs for third down. They're in the dime. Shotgun snap to Daniels. Complete beyond the marker. And they get this down to the 28. It's a gain of 12 there. And the Commanders will have a first.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
To the line we go. They're set, first and 10. Daniels. Along the sideline, Brown brings it in. And he's going to go out of bounds just short of that red zone.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. Again, Daniels to the air. Has a man, it's Ertz. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. Final timeout taken by the Commanders. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. Offense set for a first and 10. Working inside the red zone. And no one had a shot at that. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Well, you got to have a short memory in the NFL. Incompletions happen. Now you got to make the adjustment and go get the next one.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Now Daniels to throw. To the corner of the end zone, but incomplete. Oh, he made the catch, but didn't get down in bounds.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back into rhythm.
No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Throwing now, Daniels. This throw is caught. And it looks like he went out of bounds right at that 7-yard line.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
So close to the end zone, but with time winding down, they're going to try for the field goal. A very short kick here from the right hash. Up and good from Fairbairn. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
In that close, in the red zone, you know they're upset. They couldn't finish the drive with the touchdown. It's only half the points, but at least there's something to show for the possession.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down. All right, snap and a quick kneel down, and the final few seconds are going to elapse here in our first half. So at halftime, the Raiders fighting to an advantage on the road. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to Orlando. Turn things over to our buddy Jonathan Coachman in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. And with that, we welcome you all into our EA Sports studios. This is the Halftime Report. Both of these offenses had their share of high points in that first half. Each team had some big moments, and it would seem this could turn out to be a game where the last score wins.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. The first half controlled by the offenses, Brock. Let's see if the defenses can take over in the second half. We're underway. Returnable from the 2. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Commanders and this running back headed back out for a new series. That passing game they went to in the first half, it's going to need to be firing to start this second half too as they chase this lead. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They'll begin with a quick completion to the right side. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Eric Stokes getting there for the stop.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Daniels from the pistol. He'll get this to Samuel. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Daniels on first down. This ball's caught by McCaffrey. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down.
I really like the timing of that screen call to the perimeter. Get the ball in space to operate and turns into a nice gain.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. He only finds a window for 2, but that's still enough for a first down.
Some tough running from the leader of the offense right there. Didn't have a ton of room, but he made it work well enough to move those chains.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. From the gun, it's Daniels. We'll get it complete to Brian Robinson Jr. And this is through the midfield stripe and onto the Raiders' side of the field.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
2nd and 3. It's taken in by Eckler. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
New set of downs for him at the 38. This set of downs starts with an option right. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. Eric Stokes getting there for the stop. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
It may not show up as much on the old stat sheet, just a short little QB run, but what that does, Kate, is so important. Keeps that defense honest, and in particular, those defensive linemen, those cleats in the ground, they're not just coming after you in the pocket. Now they've got to think about you as a runner as well.
Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident a screen would get them enough yards for the first, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Play fake here, Daniels. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free, incomplete. That was intended for Deebo Samuel. So it's 2nd down coming up. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play. This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Back to throw. Here's Daniels. To the sideline it goes. He makes the play. Pass caught. Both feet are down. That's a pickup of 17 yards, partner, and it makes it 1st and goal.
Kate, when you watch the combine, you'll watch guys try to make this throw. And without chemistry, it's so hard to execute. That was picture perfect. That's a QB and receiver on the same.
No hesitations from Antonio Pierce here. He's got the challenge flag out. So what we're all looking for here, did he secure the catch and maintain it while also getting both feet down?
Yeah, this is why it's a perfect look. This is why teams scout body control and field awareness for these pass catchers. For moments like this, he did not have much margin for error, and it happens oh so fast.
So the challenge ends up successful. He, in fact, did not get both feet in. This is incomplete. Matt Gay on to line up this field goal. First field goal was good. His 2nd look from inside of 45 yards. Up and good from Fairbairn. And that cuts the lead back down to a lone point.
Well, that's why they spend all the time on the practice field during the week. That kind of operation. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing, and a 2 for 2 for this kicker.
Things trim back down to a single point, Brock, as they send this off and away. That's going to be taken in at the 8. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Raiders have their offense back out there. They've certainly had no issues scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they could really use some more points on this drive. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Smith. Got a man, Bowers has it. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Smith on 1st down. Finds him on the slant. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason this is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
2nd and 3 now. They go play action. Here's Smith. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. They get 22 on that one. And that's a Vegas first down.
Kid, I can promise you that's one of those play-action plays they've repped over the week during practice. That both quarterback and tight end went to bed last night thinking, man, I hope this one's called. And when it is, I hope you have just a little space to operate. That play-action works beautifully, and the tight end, the beneficiary.
Simple dive up the middle. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Shotgun snap to Smith. This ball's cut by Bowers. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15. That's 16 on the pickup. And that's good for a Raiders first.
You want to start a good debate sometime, Kate? Go in an NFL locker room and ask which position is the best athlete. The big guys, the left tackles will tell you it's them. The corners will tell you it's them. But I'll tell you what, these tight ends of today, the way they can run and break tackles and get in the open field, they truly are some of the best athletes on the team.
First down play nets them 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you're going to be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Back-to-back carries here. And this time, they won't surrender anything. They wrap him up at the line. No gain on the play, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
You want to see the term read and react with a little video in the football dictionary? That's it.
Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. From the gun, Smith. To the sideline, catch secured. Wow, he made that one look easy for the first.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Here's a handoff up the gut. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
A play fake. Now Smith to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. The Raiders push their lead further to start the half. Brock Bowers, the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. I should know this by now, Brock. I don't know if you're a Broadway guy, but there's a lot of names that belong on the playbill for this lead we've got here. But his name belongs on the marquee as he brings in his 2nd touchdown grab.
Yeah, a bunch of contributors all throughout this roster. No, not a Broadway guy. And with 2 scores now, it's what, a 2-score game?
Yep.
Easy to see he's been one of the key actors throughout.
Appreciate the honesty. Carlson to tack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Raiders grow their lead to 8. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Fielded just shy of the end zone. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The home teams and QB Jaden Daniels headed out for their next look on offense. And he has to be happy about his game. We're checking some of the highlights right now that he's made so far. A good showing that's seen him in the zone from time to time. And also he's just seen the field well from his spot in the middle of this offense. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Daniels. That's taken in by Samuel. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. So we're through 3 here. It's Commanders football, and they'll get to work, coming into the quarter trailing. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Shotgun snap to Daniels. Into traffic, complete! And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. 8 yards on the gain, and the drive continues forward.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
1st down, ball at the 36. Daniels. Has him on the quick hitter. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. Second and 3 now. They send Samuel right. On 2nd down, Robinson. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that 1st down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Another carry for Robinson. And they sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3. Second down now, 7 to go. Takes off right out of the read option. A pitch here to Eckler. And he cannot shake the tackler along the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one, and now it's 3rd and 8.
Well, the old SMU Pony Express, that was not, Kate. That was a pitch anticipated by this defense who had personnel in place to stay well ahead and greet him rather quickly.
Daniels throwing on 3rd. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
They'll run it with Robinson. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. They only needed a couple, and that is what they got. Not the most impressive gain, but a big one as they get the 1st.
So often, one of the things you have to teach running backs at the NFL level, you don't always have to hit a home run. Especially in short yardage situations, just go get that single and move the chains.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's only going to get 2 or 3 yards on that one. Second down now, 7 to go. from the 39. Complete, it's McLaurin.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass. Looking for the back that time. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
From the gun, it's Robinson. And he's taken down with a short gain to the 25. Only a yard for him that time, so now 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Complete beyond the marker. And he's in for the Washington touchdown. The Commanders down by only 2 in the 4th. Terry McLaurin with the touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
And now the Commanders face a very important 2-point attempt. He's throwing for it! And they draw up just the right throw, and we're tied. But we all knew extra point was doing nobody any good there. Gotta go for 2 in the tie. They do. They get it. And just like that, we're all squared up here in the 2nd half.
Squared up, brand new ball game, even Steven. Who is Steven? Do you know who Steven is?
That's a good question. No, go ahead. Go ahead, though. Take it.
I don't know who Steven is, and I don't really care because it's a whole new game with both teams totally alive.
Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Returnable from the 1. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. The Raiders headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Lone back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Got to be 2nd down.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Here's Smith. And he won't get it there. Defender finds a throw and breaks it up.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. He's back to throw. That's caught for the 1st. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. First and 10 now. Here's Smith. Escapes the pocket. He takes it himself. And nothing doing on that run. Defenders bottle it up quickly.
Well, I think all quarterbacks have been there before. You start scrambling, you're hoping for something to materialize, and nothing does. You just try to get back to the line, live to play another day, and more importantly, avoid a loss.
Second and 10 now. He goes back to him yet again. Complete. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. We've hit the 2-minute warning here in D.C. Raiders pushing to get within range for a game winner. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. And they got there in time. He's taken down. Now just 4 seconds after our 2-minute warning, we've got another pause. Timeout taken by the defense. Now the Raiders readying for the punt, and they'll turn to former All-Pro A.J. Cole for the kick. Pulled in at the 20. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. And that punt gets up to 59 yards. And the Commanders will go on offense. They're out and set. 1st and 10. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
You know, gains that seem a little tougher to get against a front, gosh, this QB just makes routine. Such effortless running to pick up a handful on that designed run.
The Commanders in the hurry-up. They're hustling for the line. Back to throw. He gets this one to McLaurin. It's a pickup of 11. And the Commanders will have a first.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns. He puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
1st and 10 from the 41. He'll look to throw it. Finds his target, Robinson. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. They get 13 on the pickup. And that'll be good for a Washington first.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Setting up to pass. That's complete. McLaurin along the sideline. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
Two timeouts remaining and some time left to use them. It's 1st and 10. Samuel comes in motion left. 1st and 10, a run to Robinson. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. And now the Raiders call for the first of their timeouts. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Here's Robinson up the middle. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line. A timeout taken by Vegas. That's its 2nd. Still 1 more in their pocket to use. 1 yard, all that's needed. This is 3rd and inches. Staying with Robinson. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. The defense takes its 3rd and final timeout. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. Two timeouts remaining and some time left to use them. It's 1st and 10. They bring a tight end in motion right. Going to the ground again on 1st. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Matt Gay now in a high-pressure spot. This will be around a 33-yarder for him. That one is good! And he hits one more time to win them this game! So score this as a win for the Commanders. And with overtime in their back pocket, they weren't going to lose it at the end, but they still managed to set up the field goal, and he executed the game winner. What a memorable way to win it. So for Brock Eward, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. It's a win for the Commanders, as with that, we sign off from DC.